to Melanie's Mississippi. Now, where we're going to go beyond the headlines to really tell the story more in depth. You know, every story has a soul, and every soul has a story worth sharing. And every week, I sit down with creative minds, bold ideas, and everyday heroes that make our communities shine. I have such a good job. So I thank you for joining me. I have with me today one of WJTV's remarkable women of 2025. She represents Central Mississippi, and it is Dr. Emily Harber Williams. I can't thank you enough for joining us, Emily.
I'm honored to be here.
Thank you
for
so
asking
much.
me.
And let's tell your story about Micah's Mission. This is in Vicksburg.
Yes.
And tell us how, I love this story. Tell us how you started.
So in 2017, God just laid it on my heart to just begin this educational mission. And my husband and I, we were sitting on the couch, and both educators, he's a coach, and our fourth grader came in, and he was like, I get y'all got to work and all, but when are y'all going to spend some time with me and my brother? And my husband and I looked at each other, and we just slowly closed our laptops and said, "Okay, family time."
Yeah.
And during that time, you know, it just kind of, I don't know, it just laid on my heart of how can I do things a little differently? How can I be more available for the family? And then some of my families would come to me and they were like, "I wish you could just loop with my child all the way through graduation." And their child was in like kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I can't, not in this space anyway. So
But that put something in your head.
It did. And I began during my PhD coursework. We had a class, and so began building it, and it just developed. And so the scripture, Micah 6:8, to act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with your child, is one that really God laid on my heart. And I looked at my husband. I was like, okay, got to have a name for this project. And it's like, what about Micah's Mission? And he went, oh, I think I kind of like that.
That's great.
And so that's how it came about.
To be.
Mm-hmm.
And again, what year was that?
That was in 2017.
Okay. So where are we now with Micah's Mission?
Goodness.
It's really grown.
Yes, we started with 7 children out of our house.
And how do you choose the children?
Well, they kind of choose us.
Okay. Okay.
So word of mouth, and those that are needing the things that we do, we teach the whole child. But now we're working with, we have 68 students.
Oh, my goodness.
We're in 2 locations, our kindergarten through some 7th and 8th graders, depending on their maturity level and cognitive level, are in one space, and then we have 7th through 12th in another space, and it's beautiful to watch. So we've grown from the 7 to the 68, but we have served this past year, we have 17% of our students we're connected within the youth court system, and so we work really well with the court system. And then we have 83% of our children are neurodivergent, meaning ADHD or autism, those different pieces, anxiety that embody the neurodivergent category. But 76% of those are on the spectrum, the autism spectrum.
So the people that you have helping, your wonderful staff, they are aware and they are trained in this, and you're seeing success.
Yes, a lot of success. We have, it's funny enough that 2 of the teachers, they worked within the public schools as within autism classrooms, so they have some autism background. And then we have one teacher who was a CNA before, and so she worked with our special population. And then he doesn't always like for me to say it, but my real baby brother, he is one of the teachers, and he's a lead teacher, and he has worked within the public schools as well in special education.
I think I remember when we visited that you brought up your brother too, that, yes, that he helps. So these are children who are, that need more than what the schools, the regular schools can do.
Sometimes it's just we learn a little bit different, and we don't come in working just on academics. We work socially, we work emotionally, physically, and then what grounds us all is the spiritual aspect. So being able to begin our days with devotion and mindful moments, and coming back to the center of where we need to be is what begins everything.
Do some of the students stand out to you?
Oh, they all do. They all
I know
have
you
their
love
special
everyone.
space.
I know.
But yes, we do have a few. Our first graduate from Micah's, she went on to graduate from Hines, Phi Theta Kappa, and
Wonderful.
and she completed her full degree at Mississippi State University while she was working full time. And she was working within a retail space, worked up to manager as she graduated, and then she is now working to see how she can get her master's and what she wants to get her master's in. So
That
yeah,
is wonderful. And when she first came to you,
she was in I believe 11th grade, and from her words that she shared with us in our little impact report, she said, I was in a space of giving up on life itself. And I
my.
found a renewed space. And so she just had a
She
tough
thrived, though,
go.
in the program. She
She did.
thrived.
Absolutely, and still is.
Oh, my goodness. So what ages are we dealing with here?
We're
with,
dealing
like-
from age 5, kindergarten,
Okay.
through
Oh.
12th grade. We do have a few that have come for continuum services that have graduated with certificate of completions in different school settings, not just ours. Because our students don't all just stay. Sometimes we help bridge their gap so they can move back into their original setting. Another student that we have is graduating from the public schools. She came to us from the public schools, and her biggest thing was she has dyslexia, and her biggest thing was Miss Emily, I really want to be able to make it back into big spaces and not just small spaces. And so she worked her way. She came to us for a year, and then she moved into a small private school. And now she's in a large public school, and she's graduating this year.
Graduating. How wonderful.
Preparing for college.
Can you just tell the difference in her personally? I mean,
Oh,
just
yes.
yes, achievement.
Yes, and one of the beautiful pieces about it is that she went from me being able to teach her to then me being her principal, and now my husband teaches her, and being able to see the
Growth?
the growth and the brightness in her eyes and the excitement in her voice,
That is-
and just so the confidence.
That is, it is just wonderful. It to have that. Are people coming to you and saying, "How did you start this? How can we do this? How can?"
Yes, I do have some families I am working with, and we've built a model that, funny enough, I'm joking how it goes, but we moved from not being cookie cutter. We did not want to be a cookie cutter space. However, our model is kind of cookie cutter but the beautiful part about it is that it's flexible enough that whatever vision you have, it just gives you the points and the foundation to start from, and you can build it from there however you would like.
You can renovate it.
Absolutely, girl, and build it however
That is great.
your vision is. And so we're helping some families begin that, and looking at possibly having either other little Micahs around or other families building their own vision with utilizing the Micahs model.
Do you have an opportunity, Emily, ever to get out and speak to groups? And I would think that would be an excellent way to share the success as well as put an idea in people's heads that we could do this too.
Absolutely. So we have had the honor of being able to speak at different places, different things. I've gotten to speak with Embark, Mississippi, do different things with Elise, and so she is wonderful. She's the executive director, and I am super excited that a couple of other micro school founders and I will be going to the Council for Exceptional Children in Salt Lake City, Utah in March. And we will be presenting the longitudinal study that I've done and the research with MICAs and the impact of teaching auditorily and kinesthetically and visually all at once instead of just picking and choosing when it comes to standards, but taking those pieces and teaching the whole child. And
When you say all at once, you mean you're taking those three things and in the classroom at one time?
yes, with all the standards. And so making sure that all students that learn by seeing, touching, and hearing, they're able to do all of those things. And so, sometimes as educators, we tend to just teach how we learn. And so that's
It
the
is
one.
different.
It is.
Yes.
And it's difficult. It's not easy to teach not how you learn. It's very difficult. But that is the one, I guess, one of the non-negotiables that I have when I hire somebody is that, this isn't about your comfortability. If you want a job that you're going to be comfortable in, it's not going to be this space. This is about their comfortability. And so really focusing in on that is what helps make it individual, but it also makes it where they're able to learn across the different styles that they need.
What about socially? Does Micah's mission, I know you said that you do deal with some of that, the social issues, but does it help them all? I know it must.
Yes.
As they get together.
Oh, absolutely. So we love to. So we call it, we learn full circle so we can serve full circle. So they practice all these pieces in class. Like I was talking about Mr. D, he comes in and he has created this year his own way of building the 7th through 12th. And so I give the teachers enough leeway because they're brilliant. There's no need for me to micromanage. They teach how they teach, and then the kids learn, and it's just beautiful. And so,
Tell me what he does. His is just different.
Oh, girl, he came in and he said, "Okay, y'all, this is day one, and Miss Emily doesn't even know what I'm fixing to say." And I went, "Oh no." But now, please note that we come from a family of educators. Our dad retired 45 years public and private. Our mother 48 public and private.
Yeah.
So
You were school teacher kids.
School teacher kids. So I trust him completely. And he came in and he said, "I need y'all to understand this is your job. This is your job every time that you walk in the building. This is not school. This is your job. Now, I'm going to give you the pieces that you need for your job each day, and you will be like experiencing this space where you're going to hear it auditorily, you're going to be able to see it visually, and kinesthetically you're going to build it. Now, whether you build it hands-on with different materials or you build it on your computer, that is going to be up to you. But your goal is to complete this task each day." And so he has created this job-oriented space. He said, "I'm your manager. You will have team leaders, you will have a whole group, and you will have small groups. Then you will work individually. And so it's going to depend on the day and what your team leader says to how everything goes. Team leaders will swap, and you will have to collaborate with different groups. Now, you might be in a 9th grade group, in a 10th grade group, 11th grade group, 12th grade group. However, tomorrow when you come in, you might be 1 7th, 1 8th, 1 9th, 1 10th, 1 11th, and 1 12th grade. And the 7th grader might be leading the group. So it just depends on what the task is and what we need to do and what we need to get completed for the day. And building that has been beautiful because the collaboration that has come from that and the respect that has come from, you don't have to be older to have respect. The olders can respect the youngers. And that is what has shown them that it doesn't matter how old or how young you are. It doesn't matter if you have doctor in front of your name or not. Respect is respect. And so when we go out into the community and you see the eye contact, even with students that have autism, shaking hands and having eye contact, it is
When they see this,
when they see olders, when they see younger people, when they see, even if we go and we read to those that are younger, them being able to embrace that piece is just, it's what life's about.
Yes.
It's the joy of it.
and some of these children had none of that. I mean, they just couldn't.
It was just difficult.
It was hard for
it's
them.
out of their
Yes.
comfort zone.
Right.
But like I tell the teachers, if I'm asking you to be out of your comfort zone, there are going to be spaces where I am. But we're also going to challenge our students to be out of theirs some too. And so this past weekend, we went to Camp Wesley Pines. They had a day in the Pines, and two of our cadets, our girls, they went, and they're both introverts, but they gave themselves from 9 o'clock in the morning till 2:30 in the afternoon. Now, they were so quiet and slept on the way home because they were introverts and they were extroverted that entire time. And so being able to adapt to what other people's other people needs is important, and being able to see them do that in serving
And
others.
for them to realize this is the way I am, but I am going to step out of the box here,
Right.
and I'm going to do this, even though I'll be exhausted at the end because I just want to crawl back into my seat on the bus and
Yes.
everything else. Yes.
Yes, and we'd like to say, instead of stepping out of the box, we step out of the boat.
Oh,
You know how when Jesus called Peter to step out of the boat,
see,
you keep your eyes forward.
that is. I love that.
So that's where our sailboat came from.
I love that. Yes,
So,
I love
yes.
that. So this was a true game changer.
For a lot of kids.
Oh my goodness! And for him to come up with that, and to be able to see that,
Yes.
and to make it work. I mean, they bought it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, another little story. So we have a student that's graduating this year, and he loves the theater. And that's what he wants his job to be, is working in the theater. And he's wanted to direct. And so we decided to do a practice. For his senior project, he wants to do a program in May. So we decided to do a small little Christmas program. And everybody jumped in to help. And he kind of voluntold them, but and said, okay, I need you to be this part, and you're going to be this one, and you're going to do this. And
He was casting.
He was casting. He was doing all his director duties.
Right.
And some of the students were like, I don't speak in front of people. And he was like, you are today. And so they joined in on stage for him. And one of our students couldn't make it. And so we had another student that was going to be a shepherd. And he was going to work on the stage crew, and he was so proud of all of his things that he's going to do. And he does have autism, and he came in, but he reads really well, and he loves the stage, and he loves to act for others, and he's very dramatic. And so he came in the day of the play, and I said, "Love, look. One of your friends is having a hard time being on stage today, and I'm going to need him to just run the curtains. Do you think you could read his part?" He said, "Of course I can." And so his parents came in, and his dad and stepmom and his mom and stepdad and grandparents came in, and I said, okay, now look, I need y'all to cheer really hard because he's joined in and going to be one of the main roles. And they said, what? I said, I'm telling you, he's got this.
He's got it.
He's got it. And they were so nervous. And as they watched him, he stole the show. And it was so beautiful. And he read his script and his lines, and he did them, and he sang on stage. And it was
His presence. He just
oh
had
my
presence.
goodness, yes. And just the strength and the courage that these kids have brought to the table inspire me day in and day out.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a time he could not have even thought of doing anything like that.
Well, and that is the piece that he didn't know that he could.
Mm-hmm.
He's always had it.
Mm-hmm.
He was born with it.
Right.
His parents have given it to him, and his step-parents have loved him as their own.
Mm-hmm.
And because of them, and because of the love, and we told the parents, we said, y'all are the real MVPs
Mm-hmm.
because you're brave enough to share your baby with us.
Mm-hmm.
And
what did they say? I mean, were they just...
Well, I think Mom actually, I believe, posted on her Facebook page. She was like, okay, y'all, I was not expecting this. She said, and just so y'all know, yes, I cried all the way home. And because it's just beautiful.
Yes.
It's just beautiful to be able to see, everybody gets to see who you knew your child.
Uh-huh.
Because sometimes we do different at home as we do it, in
Of
public.
course.
And so to be able to share the light, and these children share their light with others, and others get to see how uniquely and wonderfully made they are, and the fear that is not in their eyes.
That's so good. Are you trying to pay this forward? How can others learn?
So, there's so many ways. We have our Facebook page, and you can go to Micah's Mission School and see our Facebook page and see all the beautiful things that the kids do because they love it. They love to show what they do. And but the other piece about it is since October's normally our sponsor student month, but the good Lord kind of laid it on my heart to continue to keep it open through the end of December, through the new year. And it's a space where if you are ready to give back monetarily, if you want to give back through prayer, if you want to give back through giving a memorial or something like that, where our doors are open, and those funds and those things go strictly towards our children and keeping the doors open and being able to serve all the families, being able to have opportunities where the kids can experience that they never had before. So we still are continuing our sponsor student through our Facebook page, and there are different ways that can happen. So anybody can check it out.
You can take a look. We have fundraisers throughout the year. We're super excited that February, the kids come in and we bring potluck. This past year, Ergon, they funded and they catered for us. But the kids make little chocolates for their families, and they come in and they get to eat. So if you want to come join us for our Thanksgiving meal, look at that on Facebook and come join us and sit down learn more about the kids. Do you feel like it's just been a blessing?
Absolutely. I knew that God wanted me to be in ministry. I didn't know how and what that meant. My parents knew that I was supposed to be an educator, but I knew that it was going to be different. I knew it wasn't going to be a traditional space because I'm definitely not traditional. I'm way outside that box. And so yeah, this has just been a blessing. It's not, as my father-in-law would say, I'm definitely mighty blessed. And it's because the families, they share their children. And these teachers come in and they know that this is a ministry and it is a mission, and the kids know that. And so when they come in, they know that they come as they are. We leave judgment at the door. It doesn't matter where we've been, what we've done, what has happened. This is a safe haven for whatever you need, whether it's healing, whether it's love, whether it's for long-term, for short-term. But I do have to say that one of the biggest blessings is when they come back and when they reach back out. This past Easter, I don't know if I've told you this, this past Easter, we got up and went to church with one family, and then went to the other side of the family, and we were pulling up in my in-laws driveway, and my FaceTime came on, and it was one of my former students that had graduated a few years ago. I thought, oh my gosh, what is going on? He FaceTimes me sometimes, but normally it's because I need something or have a question, need some additional help, and I click on the FaceTime, and I hear, hey, how do you like my Easter present? And it's a baby calf that he's feeding. He was like, I just got it, and I wanted you to share. I just wanted to share with you my new calf that's on the farm and that we're taking care of and we're raising. The mom didn't make it, and I wanted you just to see what we're doing. And happy Easter. And I went, oh my goodness, because that's what it's about. The same young man FaceTimed me and said, hey, I want you to know I told my parents, but I wanted to tell you I'm proposing to my girlfriend. And then came back and said, hey, wanted you to know we're having a baby girl. And so it's those kind of things when they keep coming back.
Yes.
When they keep coming back.
And doing things like FaceTiming and all that they could have never.
No, and he was just one that was, so quiet and so
You made such an impact.
he didn't have the confidence that he has now, and knowing that he could do anything that he wanted to do, and just had to have somebody there other than family.
Cheerleader.
That's what we are. Yes, girl.
And
we
great
cheer.
ones, definitely. One last thing, Emily, tell me about the podcast. When I left you in Vicksburg,
Yes.
the girls wanted to do a podcast. You were going to try to get a podcast room. I'm new to all this podcast, but how's that going?
So great. So great. Our girls have the Teenage Era podcast, and they take different books, and they finished up season 1. Season 1 was on Blended. Susan M. Draper, I believe, is the author. And they hit all things teenage. They talked about divorce. They talked about grief. They talked about interracial relationships, marriages, families. The little girl, her mom was black and her dad was white, I believe, and so
In this book.
and so they touched on, what does it mean to be blended, and they recognized how blended Micah's is, and how beautiful it was that they could all come together. There's so many different backgrounds and diversity that's within Micah's, but the one thing that I had another student come and say before these two boys graduated, one came from just tough choices, tough life due to the choices he made, and another was born with Down syndrome, and they both came together, and one said, we're not so different after all. I thought we were really different because we look so different, because we come from different places. But we're not really different at all. We are friends. We're friends because we accept each other for who they are, and we persevere whatever life throws at us, and we're connected because